be in a similar situation, and I feel the need to interject here real quick because man, does that kill me. Kobe is my favorite player of all time, and I'm a Chicago Bulls.
One with nature.
That's
Clouds hide. The birds come.
I'll protect us.
anyways. Well, Kobe wanted out. Because of Kobe's stinginess, he actually was not traded. He made trading him so difficult for the Lakers that they did. And asking for this trade actually helped him push the Lakers management to without building around him. In the offseason, they brought back Derek Fisher in free agency and traded for Trevor Ariza, and Andrew Bynum took a leap in his third year. That made him one of the better centers in the NBA. This led to the Lakers starting the year off very well, on pace for 50 wins by the trade deadline. However, Kobe still wasn't exactly thrilled about the situation in LA. While the team was better, he was still the lone star in town. But one of the biggest robberies in NBA history would make up for that. Spanish treasure arrived on the shores of Los Angeles.
Time to go.
Simply the biggest NBA in-season trade so far. Acquired talented man Pau Gasol from the Grizzlies. Now this return actually ended up good for Memphis in the long run because Pau's brother Mark ended up being pretty good, unbeknownst to anybody. But at the time, him and a bunch of scrubs would end up being two very late first-round picks. It was definitely a steal. And this was that Kobe finally made for the first time since Shaq, which would make his life a whole lot easier.
What's your reaction to the trade? I think it shows a great deal of commitment from the organization.
The wind knows me.
I think it's a step.
Powell was not some unbelievable
Time to go.
talent or even a superstar caliber player. He was just a very good player, and that was all that Kobe really needed. In Powell's debut for the Lakers, he had 24, 12, and 4 on 10 for 15 shooting, while Kobe had just 6 points on 3 for 13 shooting. Easily
One with nature.
years, and it didn't matter. Even though the next team that they were playing wasn't very
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
for 6 points,
Let the show begin.
it seemed like a miracle in comparison to that.
Supporting fire.
In fact, every game between
Sa.
Shaq and the trade, the lowest amount of points Kobe had scored in a win was 8, and that was only a win because the Nuggets were playing Carmelo Anthony. That's what you doubt him. So with Gasol on this team, elevating the Lakers to a new level, Kobe finally won that
Wind Strider.
award. But he was more interested in the more elusive first championship without Shaq. Oh, here's some stuff that boiled over. However, the pressure was on Kobe to win without Shaquille O'Neal. It was that pressure. But now Kobe, he had the MVP, and it was time for him to prove himself. And as we know, he was always up for the challenge.
Into the wind.
8 playoffs. First round, the Lakers beat the Nuggets easily. Not even worth mentioning. In the second round, they matched up with a very interesting team in the Utah Jazz.
Wind Strider.
Duo of Deron Williams and Carlos Boozer, the defensive mastermind.
I'll protect us.
Facing some stretch fights with Kerr as well as Kyle. The team was number 1 in offense,
The wind knows me.
and they were coached by the legendary coach Gary Sloan. The team was the Lakers was a clear-cut best.
Check this out.
Keeper
Oh,
was a close series that easily took number 7, but luckily really showed up in this series to make sure it didn't go that way. 33-77 on 63% true shooting against one of the better defensive players of his generation. The guys took care of business. Then they get to the Western Conference Finals, where the team that was waiting for them was the defending champion San Antonio Spurs, led by Tim Duncan and the guard tandem of Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker, as well as the supporting cast of Chris Solid with a lockdown defender and Bruce Bowen. And of course, this team was coached by Greg Popovich, making this was also a matchup of the two greatest coaches.
I love it when it snows.
Being that this team
The world falls completely silent,
getting through a tough
and I can sleep undisturbed.
this to be a close series.
Into the wind.
I was setting you guys up. This series was a gentleman's sweep. As for why, well, Kobe played great again on offense, and on defense he gave Manu fit, as he only
Don't get too close.
average
Here's backup.
season. So the Lakers took care of business. Waiting for them was a hell of a 2007 offseason was quite expensive in the NBA, and the team that ended up being the biggest story of that offseason was the Boston. Nearly a decade of the Celtics riding the coattails of Paul Pierce while not even
Wind Strider.
did something. Well, actually, more accurately, the Celtics did basically everything. First, the team traded for Ray Allen, who had spent the past years on a very not so good five team, with Ray being a star and at that point the greatest of all time. This was already a huge deal. But on top of that, it was traded for Kevin fucking Garnett. Fun fact, Kevin Garnett's middle name is actually fucking. That wasn't just me trying to put on some emphasis here. His name is literally Kevin fucking Garnett. Please do not fact check that. So now the Celtics suddenly went from Paul Pierce and Wally Zerbiak to Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett. As a result of all these moves, the C's went from a record of 24 and 58 to 66 and 16. They were the very clear-cut favorites. That's not six. Lakers had no chance because they unquestionably did. But the general perception here was that, yeah, the Lakers are good, but the Celtics are probably winning this one. Perhaps what made this matchup more interesting, however, is the history that these two franchises had. Lakers versus Celtics is easily the greatest rivalry in the NBA and arguably the biggest
Time to go.
sport. But when you think of Kobe's matchups on the largest stage previous to this, there is no historical context to add more weight to the potential win or loss. Unless you want to count the 04 Pistons because of the bad boy Pistons and the Showtime Lakers in the 80s, but I wouldn't, and I don't think one was back then either. So what Kobe
One with nature.
was bigger himself. And now wasn't just him and his team to win a championship. It was now yet another chapter in a 6 to 7 decade on the Celtics home court.
Let the show begin.
Wind Strider.
In those games, Kobe do particularly well, but being that the Celtics had the best defense in the league, his score efficiency wasn't that much of a shock. Game 3 was a bounce back for Kobe and the Lakers as he put up 36 and 7 on 12 20 shooting, and the Lakers won this one in a place where the score ended up being in the 80s for both teams. But unfortunately for Game 4, Kobe would follow his best game in the series, but usually his worst, as he put up only 17 points alongside 10 assists on 19 shooting. Sadly, this Lakers core around Kobe couldn't find him because he was gone for the playoffs, just simply could not compensate for the poor performance by him. So the Lakers found themselves in a 3 deficit, which he'd win in the finals. And that record would continue as Kobe and the Lakers had a bounce back. The C's blew them out of the water in Game 6 by 39 as Kobe shot just 6 for 22. The Lakers put up a fight, but Boston was clearly better, and Kobe's poor shooting nights did not help that.
Kobe won the MVP, led the team to the finals. How do you characterize this season? Well, the goal was to win a championship. It wasn't.
The wind knows me.
Because a year ago, I think I asked about the Celtics Lakers thing.
Time to go.
Really never, you've only seen it on TV. Now you've been through it, sort of. Can you talk about what it was like, the Montreal thing and playing the Celtics in the championship?
This loss with Kobe being the man that he was, walked into next season with even more determination and motivation than before.
Let's dance.
More fuel to his fire. Lakers
Wind Strider.
65 and playing full season with Gasol and just overall improvement. This Lakers team made themselves from a year ago look like garbage in comparison. Round 1 versus the Jazz went by easily. Then in the second round,
Wind Strider.
matchup which no one talked about for some reason. This series was weird as hell. Bynum and Victor played like shit, which was probably the main reason why this series was even close. But the two biggest players, as well as Lamar Odom, played really well. And yet a team with a starting lineup of Aaron Brooks, Shane Battier, Meta World Peace, at the time, Louis Scola, and a combination of Yao Ming for 3 games and Chuck Hayes for 4 games as the starting center. This was a 7-game series. In this series, really the only thing that gets talked about is the famous back and forth between and Artest. But this series really had no business going to 7 games. Like, a team whose leading scorer for this series is Aaron Brooks pushed this Lakers team to 7 games, which is out of this world, and I don't know why this is brought up more. But for the conference finals, the Lakers
Keep back!
much better internal improvement, and get their revenge the Celtics. But they played
These things
unfortunately,
useful?
he got injured in the first round of the playoffs, which led to the Celtics losing to Dwight Howard's Magic despite their best effort. So getting that sweet taste of revenge will not be coming for Kobe quite yet. But he would have an opportunity to finally shut up those critics who said that he could not win without Shaq. And he would shut them up because for the most part, this Magic team isn't all that difficult of a matchup. Best defense in the league and a respectable offense, but the team just did not have enough experience. Best player in the series, so it's a game.
Fire it up!
And walked away with his first
Time to go.
But Kobe, of course, was not all that satisfied with this. If you remember back to the offseason Kobe had after winning his first ring in 2000, the guy was never one to get his ring and then feel like the job's just completely over. On top of his natural desire to win multiple championships, he also had unfinished business with the team that bested him the year before. And wasting no time, he'd get that chance at revenge in the following season. The Lakers were breaking again in 2010. Not as successful record-wise as last year, but they were still the favorite in the conference, and in the Western Conference playoffs, they proved this by taking care of the young OKC Thunder, the consistently mediocre Utah Jazz, and the Phoenix Suns in the conference finals. Waiting for the Lakers this time around would, of course, be the Boston Celtics in the 2010 NBA Finals. Kevin Garnett was, albeit as a lesser version,
Thank you for complete.
not quite the same after his injury in 2009, but still a very good player. But as a result, they got past Magic to get a shot at the championship. Unfortunately, however, for the C's, Kobe was not going to let that happen. Magic series win was satisfying, but it wouldn't be as satisfying as taking down the Celtics with all of the history that these two organizations had and the fact that it had lost them in the finals of 2008. This series would go down as one of the better in league history with it going to 7 games. They split the first 4 games, each taking one on the opposing court, and in Game 5, the Celtics took the series lead. Game 5s are typically considered to be the most pivotal in a series because, generally speaking, most close teams come out 2-2, and Game 5 is where you determine who's really going to win the series because whoever wins Game 5 only has to win one of the next 2. At take 5, you stay in your car because we're faster than you think.
Oil change done. You finished knitting these sweaters. Oh well.
Meanwhile, the team that's down has to win both of the next 2. The room for error drastically increases once you have that 3-2 lead. But
Time to go.
the Lakers killed the Celtics.
If the Tenryo Commission won't assist in dealing with the thunderstorm, the consequences could be catastrophic.
It's not that we're unwilling to do our part. We just don't have any spare hands right now.
33%
I hope you can understand.
Exactly. So let's keep the discussion going and see if we can find a solution.
This game would be
Hey, Toma! What's going on?
this was a
Hello you two. We were just talking about what an impact you've made in Inazuma.
Celtics shot just 41%.
Greetings.
Made up
Thank you both again for delivering Miss Hiragi's letter that time.
down at the Celtics.
Ah, so they're friends of yours. I'm Master Kamaji's servant. Call me Ippe.
15
Well, the Tri-Commission's work used to consist of gathering information for the Shogun and carrying out any duties she assigned.
so they could not make
But recently, she announced that she wishes to spend some time in solitude and self-reflection. Since she is refusing to receive any visitors, there is no one to tell us what to do. We all understand if the Shogun needs some quiet time to gather her thoughts. The only problem is, in the meantime, the thunderstorm out at sea has been getting wilder.
You know what it means as a team. What about individuals?
Yep, that's the one. And all the time it's been there, the storm has never changed in shape or size. But now, it seems to be drawing closer to Inazuma.
What? So her will's changed and she wants to destroy Inazuma now? Or is this her way of trying to get revenge on us? Oh yeah, you're right. If she really wanted to get revenge on us, she could just strike us with lightning right here. Which would also be pretty scary.
I don't think you need to worry about that. The reason we're concerned is that we've never known the almighty Shogun's will to falter before.
Considering Liu as god left not too long ago, it's hard not to take it as a bad sign. A lot of people now believe that the thunderstorm is getting wilder because the almighty Shogun is having health problems. The fact that she won't see anyone right now makes us concerned that things are only going to get worse.
Right. So, before rumors start spreading, Miss Kamisato got me to come here and discuss countermeasures with the Tenryo Commission. We need to make sure we're prepared to deal with the chaos if and when it arrives.
Unfortunately, the reality is that the Tenryo Commission is facing huge internal instability at the moment. The Kujo clan has lost control over the other clans.
Huh? Why is that?
The Kujo clan is still awaiting the Shogun's trial for colluding with the Fatui and nearly destroying the whole of Inazuma. Everyone knows that a change of commissioner is inevitable. It's just a matter of time before the almighty Shogun hands down her decree.
To put it simply, no one will take orders from the Kujo clan anymore. But there's still work that has to be done.
If Mr. Takayuki was in better health, there might be a way through. But now?
My lack of ability is to blame. I failed to uncover the truth in time, and I failed to stop my father. And now, as acting head of the clan, I'm failing to quell the unrest.
Don't blame yourself, Master. You have to at least keep your chin up until your older brother returns. The Kujo clan can't cope with any more instability in its current state.
Yes, you're right. Masahito has enough on his plate at the moment. Mustn't cause any more issues for him. Okay, Toma, let's revisit this discussion in a few days. Right now, I need to go visit Takatsukasa Susumu, head of the Takatsukasa clan. He's the only one capable of taking charge of the situation now.
I suppose. Well, okay, no problem. A speedy resolution to the Tenryo Commission's internal issues is in our best interest as well.
I'll come with you, Master.
No need. I'll handle this by myself.
Oh, okay. Take care then. Come back soon.
If you think about it, both the thunderstorm situation and the issue with the Tenryo Commission have been caused by the Shogun's decision to take some time off, right? If things carry on like this, people will start to panic.
Huh? You can actually do that?
Don't know for sure, but we may as well try. Whether she takes us up on the offer or not will depend on what mood she's in.
Sounds like you guys know what to do. Shall I leave it up to you then? You know, everyone's worrying about the Shogun's condition, but if people got to see her in person, it would put their fears to rest. Thank you very much. I owe you one, again.
The way Paimon sees it, there's only one person who might have the chance to see the Shogun while she's isolating, right? Let's take a trip to the Grand Narukami Shrine!
As this season came to a close, it really personally started to get absolutely over, and that was not a good feeling. But Toby made sure to give us a show on his way out. Even though Toby by this point had long lost his nickname Showbo, he was still always happy.
Of the Electro Archon.
And his last
May the
NBA game with
Sakura bloom eternally.
was definitely expecting
I wasn't expecting to receive VIP shrine visitors during downtime. So I suppose you're here just to visit me? What a smooth talker. Though your eyes do not lie as convincingly as your tongue. You came because you need my help, didn't you? Still, your answer has put me in a good mood. So tell me, what is the matter?
We heard the Shogun shogun decided to take a break, and since then the thunderstorm around Inazuma has gotten wilder. Rumor has it that the thunderstorm is affected by the shogun's will, so people are worrying that something might be wrong with her.
All right. There's little purpose in keeping anything hidden from you anyway. Since the battle, the Shogun has been greatly troubled and her temperament has changed drastically.
What?
Her power was already on the decline. Then you dealt her that fateful strike. The defeat was a heavy blow to her. It also didn't help that I forgot to bring her some tricolor dango and light novels when I went to see her. Oh, the poor thing. Without desserts and books to console herself with, she was so angry she quite simply lost it. Crying and ranting and raving. Oh, I could hardly bear to see her that way.
You expect us to believe that a god would throw a temper tantrum over something like that?
Before you get too indignant, consider the fact that your concerns sound every bit as nonsensical to me as that blatant lie did to you. A seeks eternity. To her, mortal lives come and go in the blink of an eye. Of what consequence to her are mortal concerns for her well-being?
You're saying she's fine, right?
I don't know the details. She said she wanted to rest, and I have nothing pressing that requires her attention, so there is no reason to disturb her. I have heard about the thunderstorm, though. As to the cause, it is not I am the only one in all of Inazuma who can visit her while she is resting. But tell me, why should this concern me? Why should I do this for you, when I already have everything one could ever want, and have seen everything one could ever wish to see? I like that answer. Here is the pass permit. Show it to the Okuzumeshu at the gate, and he will let you in.
Thanks, Miko!
My question was in jest, but since you answered it in earnest, please stay true to your word. Oh, and don't forget to return the pass permit to me after you have finished with it.
By the protection of the Electro Archon.
Time to go. The Almighty Shogun has requested solitude. No visitors allowed.
Oh, we've got a pass permit from Miko.
Don't be ridiculous. Lady Guji never gives her pass permit to another person, not even esteemed travelers like yourselves. Guji Ai is only authorized to hold that pass permit because of the trust that the Almighty Shogun places in her, and her alone. Wait, this is authentic. Understood. Then as the Shogun has ordered, I must not stand in your way. Apologies. Please proceed. Since the Shogun is resting at this time, please be especially respectful and make sure your behavior is impeccable.
Look how she's pacing back and forth. Don't you think she looks a little anxious?
How did you get in? Trespassers are to be eliminated at once.
Wait, no, it's us! Why are you treating us like we're your enemies? We made amends, didn't we? Also, we got in by totally legitimate means!
Denied. Use of force has been forbidden. Anyway, be gone. Do not disturb my solitude. That is of no concern. This is my recuperation state.
What do you make of this? She's acting strange, huh?
This body has no need of rest. But I am an assistant to the one within. If she wishes to rest, I must follow her will.
Paimon gets it. So this is all A's doing. But why? Surely you going about your business doesn't interfere with the plane of Euthymia. She's got plenty of space in there. Seems like it would be the perfect place for rest and relaxation.
I do as she wishes. I can say no more than this. I cannot. In my current state, even if I went out, I could do nothing. I am currently unwilling to deal with any business. I am also incapable of it.
What do you mean by that?
It has been forbidden. Please refrain from making me talk any further.
What should we do? It feels like this conversation is going nowhere.
But no one, and I mean no one, was going to outwork and out-effort Sophie. There's not a
It's you two. It's been a while. The Shogun can't do much at the moment.
Sophie wanted to succeed as a basketball player more than anything. And it was that determination that makes him so beloved in the street. It's that mentality that defines Cody Bryant's legacy.
That was terrifying! Would it be so hard to give us a little warning first?
It's not your first time. I don't see what there is to be so alarmed about.
So, is the Shogun broken? Are you gonna get it fixed, or...?
Don't worry. The Shogun's not broken. I've just temporarily disabled many of her functions. Currently, the Shogun is unable to handle any business and cannot appear as me. So the easiest solution was to announce that I am resting. As I said, I need to think about Inazuma's eternity, and thinking takes time. But the Shogun is still running based on her old rules. I can't allow her to make any mistakes while I am working things out.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
No, she was not created to ever be turned off. Furthermore, I had even predicted at the time that I may wish to modify the Shogun's operational rules at some point in the future. That's why the Shogun has a robust system to safeguard against modification. It's also to protect against unforeseen circumstances. For now, while I figure out the form that eternity should take, it's more effective for me to temporarily disable some of the puppet's functions, rather than attempt to modify her rules.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! The thunderstorm's getting out of control because some of the Shogun's functions have been disabled.
The thunderstorm is getting out of control? This is the first I've heard of it.
Huh? Okay, well, let us bring you up to speed.
I see. So the thunderstorm is drawing closer.
You can fix it, right?
It's just a minor error. This kind of thing was bound to happen. A small modification to the Shogun should fix it. Don't look at me like that. I've never had to tinker with the Shogun before, and she's very complicated. It's practically inevitable for something to go wrong when you start tweaking things. Yes, that's it. I'm not making excuses. It's the truth.
It's fine, just as long as you can fix it is all.
Not much. As before, I can see the way forward, yet there are still contradictions. But there is no urgency. To reach an ill-conceived verdict in haste, just for the sake of having reached one, would be a confusion of priorities.
If everyone sees that the Shogun is in good health, it'll put all the speculation and rumors out there to rest. And who knows? A change of scenery might put you in a different mood and give you some fresh inspiration.
You mean, leave the plane of Euthymia?
by watching motivational videos from Kobe Bryant. I would go on YouTube, look up Kobe inspiration, and it would be just a compilation of his highlights, maybe him working out the sun.
It's unnecessary, as far as I'm concerned. But since you're inviting me, a change of pace might well be nice. All right then. I'll come out for a while. Oh, since the theme of the day is a change of pace, you can just call me A. I'm not a great fan of rigid titles.
What? But you're just A's consciousness, aren't you? Can consciousness actually leave this place?
I have my ways. I would never subject myself to imprisonment voluntarily.
Oh, great! Then there's nothing to worry about. Allow us to be your tour guides.
Tour guides? What's a tour guide?
Someone to show you around the Inazuma of today and give you tips on where to eat and how to have fun. All right, let's go, go, go!
Cloud tide. The birds call. Check this out. Huh?
Even though I still have bad days, there are days when I fail to conquer that. For the most part, I would say I am drastically better at pushing through and being very efficient and working hard when I need to. I cranked out this memory edit job after staying up to about 30 hours. So, mama mentality there.
Is this the marketplace? It's a far cry from how I remember it.
When you make a choice,
The stores have changed, and so have the vendors. Well, that's to be expected.
It's the Shogun! What is the almighty Shogun doing here?
Isn't the Shogun sick? This is quite sudden.
I appear to have frightened the people.
Well, what did you expect? The almighty Shogun makes an impromptu appearance in town? People are gonna freak out a bit.
Patrolling the streets is the Tenryou Commission's job. The Shogun has a lot of information to process and orders to give out. She doesn't have time to deal with it herself. Additionally, the Shogun has no need of recreation. There would be no need for her to come here just to pass the time or to relax.
So, what do we do now? Should we go away for a while and make a more low-profile return later?
Why? It's not like I'm here to cause trouble. Let's just relax.
It was more the ordinary people that Paimon was worried about. Never mind. This definitely seems like your style, eh?
People still use Mora in commercial transactions, I assume.
Yep, same as ever. Just as shiny and just as hypnotic. Wait a second. Hey, are you saying you don't have any Mora either?
Of course I don't. There is no need for commerce in the plane of Euthymia. If I ever need something, I can simply have one of the commissions bring it to me. Wait, what do you mean, either? Anyway, people seem to be behaving in a very orderly fashion. I don't see the liveliness you spoke of anywhere.
People aren't exactly gonna let their hair down in front of the almighty Shogun.
What is this stall selling? I don't believe I've ever seen this before.
What's the Shogun doing here? What am I supposed to do in this situation? What's the Shogun doing here? What am I supposed to do in this situation?
Rebooting.
Shogun, excuse me.
It's all right. Relax. I'm just here to look around. I'm having a change of pace today. Could you tell me about the items you're selling?
Of course. I've got all kinds of snacks here. Takoyaki, dango, and milk, and so on.
Huh? Milk? Sounds kind of like the odd one out.
It might sound odd, but it is in fact my specialty. You see, many of the stores in town are already very well established. I couldn't compete with them no matter what I sell. So my idea was to create some new combinations to give customers a novel experience. For example, my latest concoction is this dango milk. When the dango are worked into a viscous form, they mix very nicely with the milk. The focus is not just the taste, but also the unique texture.
Oh, dango with milk. I've never heard of it. What made you want to do this?
I'm sorry, Shogun. I've got no bone to pick with eternity.
I said relax. There's no need to go treading on eggshells. Do you really think the eternity I pursue is something that can be shaken by dango and milk?
Huh. Why do I feel like she's different than I expected? Actually, it came to me by chance. A friend was catering once and made too many dango, so they gave some to me. But there were more than I had use for. My milk wasn't selling well at that time either. And both dango and milk have a short shelf life. So I thought I'd try mixing the two as I had nothing to lose. To my surprise, in the right proportion, it tasted superb.
A chance combination. Interesting. May I try this drink?
The almighty Shogun wants to try? Well, certainly. And you two should try it too.
Nice. It's sweet. The sensation is not so different from eating a dessert. A unique beverage indeed.
Yeah, it's definitely a drink, but it also feels like eating food.
It's a little bit like porridge? But the resemblance is only superficial. Anyway, I like it.
I'm very glad you approve.
I imagine that an item as delicious as this dango milk must sell exceptionally well, no?
Well, I won't lie to you. Sales are very average.
Huh? So it's selling slowly? Why is that?
Because most people aren't willing to give it a try. They think it's an unusual combination, even though everyone who's tried it before rates it highly. I'm not saying the almighty Shogun has unusual tastes. Please, don't take it the wrong way.
Ah, I see. Well, that can be fixed. I'll just have the Yashiro Commission order a few hundred cups and go door to door delivering them.
No, almighty Shogun, that's too much.
Is it? I just want them to try it. It would be a shame for them to miss out on dango milk. Oh, I would No. No need. That would be needlessly indulgent. There's nothing like dessert for improving one's mood. Much more enjoyable than meditating alone all the time. By the way, Miko mentioned that she founded something called the Yai Publishing House to sell some sort of light novels. She's always bragging to me about it, but it's difficult for me to really imagine without seeing the place for myself. Can you take me there?
Sure! Let's go and have a look!
Worth mentioning.
Rebooting.
So many regrets.
Surely it'd be
weird
more
abilities to
interesting
Come on,
for the
we
protagonist
can
to
do it.
discover their ability to stop time here.
Let the show begin.
Time to go.
Welcome to Bonton Sangha Detective Agency. What will you have me solve?
Shogun! Almighty Shogun! What brings you to the Eye Publishing House? Do you have instructions for us?
No, not at all. Don't be so nervous. I'm just here to look around.
Apologies. I still don't quite understand. Are you here to look into the management? Or publishing regulations? Or fire safety measures?
She just wants to browse your books.
The Almighty Shogun wishes to read light novels?
Yes. Any recommendations?
The Eye Publishing House's novels are mostly targeted at the general public, and the content is all kinds of strange. I'm not sure we have anything quite to the Almighty Shogun's taste.
I'm just here to try something new. There's no fun in reading the same kind of thing over and over again. Relax. It's just words on a page, isn't it? What could I misunderstand, really?
In principle, you're absolutely right. It's just...
It'll be fine. If there's anything the Shogun doesn't understand, we'll explain it to her.
Well... Okay, then. Please proceed to the bookshelf over there. It has all the latest bestsellers. There are some winning entries from the This Novel is Amazing competition. I've just finished compiling them into a saleable form. Don't take them too seriously. It's all just a bit of fun.
Okay. Let's go then. Huh. How can this be? Did I underestimate the caliber of this material? I know every individual word in these books' titles, so why is it that they make no sense to me in these particular combinations? Take this one, for example. The good thing about being reincarnated as a hilly churl is that I only need to eat sunsettias to become stronger. It's so long. Is it true that hilly churls grow stronger from eating sunsettias? Well, surely it should be some sort of meat, at least.
It's just a narrative device.
Narrative device. So it's made up? What's the point of that? Without being grounded in reality, how can the story be believable? Also, I'm fairly certain that hilly churls can't write stories. So, does this author claim to be documenting hilly churl life from an outside perspective, perhaps?
Paimon's starting to understand Kuroda's reservations right about now. How about we choose for you? We can pick out some novels that are easier to understand and give you the scoop.
All right, then. I believe myself to be relatively well-read, but with stories like these, I don't even know where to start. I have high hopes, though. This seems like Miko's style, so I'm sure the stories are very entertaining.
All right, leave it to us. We'll be back in a jiffy. This could be a pretty tough job. Let's see what we're up against.
No, stop adding weird.
The Almighty Shogun. Huh.
What a string. Someone like that could easily become the top martial arts pro in the... You do have a...
Surely it'd be more interesting for the...
The suspense is killing Paimon! Paimon only skimmed through, but Paimon can tell this girl has loved the main character with all her heart since childhood. Yeah, it's just a novel. But please let the author have a heart, please! The plot is really gripping. But would A really understand this kind of mortal romance?
Welcome to Bantan Sangha Detective Agency. What will you have
Surely
me solve?
it'd be more interesting for the protagonist to discover their ability to stop time here.
No, stop adding weird abilities to the characters.
Welcome to Bantan Sangha Detective Agency. What will you have me solve?
Surely it'd be more interesting.
There are
for the
leaves
protagonist
around,
to discover their ability
and
to
I know
stop
just
time
the
here.
tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Shogun must have her reasons.
No, stop adding weird abilities to the characters.
Welcome to Bantan Sangha Detective Agency. What will you have me solve?
Surely it'd be more interesting for the protagonist to discover their ability to stop time here.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade. It is the last link I have to the land of my birth.
No, stop adding weird abilities to the characters.
Bantan Sangha Detective Agency. What will you have me solve?
Surely it'd be more interesting for the protagonist to discover their ability to stop time here.
With a premise, Paimon, well, if
Everything is going
that's all of
smoothly,
them,
just as
let's
I
try to
planned.
explain them to
What will you
A.
have me solve?
Surely it'd be more
The
interesting.
looks on your faces tell me you found some good stories. Goodness. Are people in Liyue really so complex these days? Even though the protagonist refuses to acknowledge his innate talents, he has a rare dedication to justice. Where is he now? Does he have plans to visit Inazuma? If so, I will instruct one of the commissioners to bring him to me on his arrival. I would very much like to spar with him.
He's a fictional character. He doesn't exist. What about the antagonist, though? Don't you have any thoughts about their part in the story?
The antagonists? You mean all the people who behaved foolishly? What can I say? They're bad people, and they all got what they deserved. End of story.
A doesn't seem interested in the supporting characters at all. So what do you think of Yai Publishing House's light novels, eh? Do you like the stories we picked?
What I take from these stories is not so much the content itself, but what they represent in terms of the effects of time upon Inazuma. Back when I decided to isolate myself in the plain of Euthymia, there was no Yai publishing house, and certainly no stories of this kind. In accordance with my wishes, the Shogun did her best to create an eternal nation. A nation that, in theory, should remain entirely unchanged over time. But the fact is that both the food and the stories have changed with time. I disagree with your point of view. That's what I would say if we were still in the plane of Euthymia. But the truth is right here in front of my eyes, and I can't deny it.
And that's exactly why we brought you out, to take a look around and get some fresh ideas. Sure, it's not the same as you remember, but one way or another, people are loving life in the present. That's gotta be a good thing, right?
Yes, you're right. I'm wary of any and all change. but I do not wish for my pursuit of eternity to stop human lives from changing for the better. Thank you for inviting me out. This trip has been quite eye-opening for me. This may be an everyday occurrence for you, but for me, this trip has been quite an occasion. I've seen a lot, and it's made me think a lot. I really can't praise it highly enough. I hope I will remember it for a long time to come.
Ooh, great idea! Ace had a wonderful time, and a photo is the best way to remember it.
Take a photo? Once again, I'm faced with a combination of words that makes up.
It's okay. Come with us. We'll find a scenic spot and show you what we mean.
Surely it'd be more interesting for the protagonist to discover their ability to stop time here.
The new book from Yai Publishing House is out. Come take a look.
Stop adding weird abilities to the characters.
Welcome to Bantan Sangha Detective Agency. What will you have me solve? Everything is going smoothly, just as I planned.
Surely it'd be more interesting for the protagonist to discover their ability to stop time
The
here.
new book from Yai Publishing House is out. Come take a look.
Adding weird abilities to the characters.
Everything is going smoothly, just as I planned. Welcome to Bantan Sangha Detective Agency. What will you have me solve?
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
The new book from Yai
Surely
Publishing
it'd be
House is
more
out.
interesting
Come take a
for
look.
the protagonist to discover their ability to stop time here.
Adding weird abilities to the
Everything is
characters.
going smoothly, just as I planned. Welcome to Bantan Sangha Detective Agency. What will you have me solve?
Shogun must have her reasons.
The new book from Yai Publishing House is out. Come take a look.
Stop adding weird abilities to the characters.
Surely it'd be more interesting
is
for the
going
protagonist to
smoothly, just
discover
as I
their
planned.
ability to stop time here.
Welcome to Bantan Sangha Detective Agency. What will you have me solve?
The new book from Yai Publishing House is out.
Stop
Come
adding
take a
weird
look.
abilities to the characters.
Everything is going smoothly, just as I planned.
Surely it'd be more interesting for the protagonist to discover their ability to stop time.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home.
The new book from Yai
This
Publishing House
blade.
is out. Come take a look.
It is the last link I have to the land of my birth.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Everything
I
is going
ran the
smoothly,
entire
just
game
as
and
I
hit the
planned.
last shot.
The Shogun must have her reasons.
Oh, 2K, bruh. Man, he is
So,
people is shooting the entire
what
time.
are we supposed to be doing?
We're taking a photo
Oh,
of you. Just leave the hard work to us.
big
All you
dub.
need to do is stand over there and strike a pose. Basically, a photo makes a visual record of you at this very moment in time, so it makes a great souvenir.
Okay, so what exactly is striking a pose? Ah, I see. So in other words, I need to do some sort of visually agreeable action in front of you, right? The more I think about it, the more embarrassing it seems. How should I pose? Help me out here. It should look good. Okay, I'll try that. All right. Well, I'll leave the decision to you. This doesn't feel very... me. Is this okay? All right. Well, I'll leave the decision to you. Casual. How about this? This feels quite natural. Okay, let's get started.
Let's pick a good angle to record this moment from.
Please. These are all the snacks I have. Please let me grow up faster.
The Shogun must have her reasons.
So a photo...
Archons, please. These
It's
are all
a
the
wrap! Take a look! Here's the photo we took of you.
Wow. This is astonishing. Is it some kind of magic? It seems to be another copy of me. But she doesn't seem to be able to move or talk. I thought it would turn out poorly because I felt rather rigid, but it actually looks more natural than I imagined. The pose is exactly the same, and so is the scenery in the background. I can't imagine how it's achieved.
That's what makes it so special.
Hang on. I'm still struggling to understand this. I need you to explain it again. So, the one in this photo, are you sure it isn't me? If it's not me, then why does she look exactly like me? And if she is me, then who am I?
Okay, that's way above Paimon's head. Hey, that's right! Do you think the Shogun counts as you?
Of course I do. It was never my intention to place control of Inazuma into anybody else's hands.
So then, who does that make you, here and now?
Well, I'm still me. There is no doubt about that. My existence... I think I understand. I am me. There is only one of me, but I can exist in many different forms. It's not important what form I exist in. The Shogun, for example, is one of my forms of existence. The question of whether or not she is me is not determined by any of her components.
In that case, this picture is one of your forms of existence too.
So even I, who seeks eternity, am constantly changing my form of existence. Then, how can I ask Inazuma and everyone who lives here to remain unchanging? Everything I have encountered on this journey with you has been from beyond my existing sphere of knowledge. You've seen a lot of my ignorant side today. Maybe you can't tell, but all this has challenged my understanding of things. Based on what I have seen today, I am forced to accept that Inazuma is a completely different place from the one I remember. But it would be incorrect to conclude from this that the Inazuma of today is no longer Inazuma. Both the Vision Hunt Decree and the statue of the omnipresent God were conceived as a means of bringing about eternity. But if I were really getting closer to eternity, none of this ever would have happened. Perhaps... Perhaps I've been holding on to everything too tightly.
Sounds to Paimon like Ace figured things out. And that means that we've done a really great job as her guides.
Master Kamaji! Master Kamaji!
Why is it getting so noisy down there? Oh, that sounded like Ippei. What could be the matter?
Ippei? Is that someone from the Tenryou Commission?
Yep, let's find out what's going on.
Archons, please. These are all the snacks I have. Please let me grow up faster.
Time to go.
Archons, please. These are all the snacks I have. Please let me grow up faster.
Should I report this to my superiors?
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
Archons, please. These are all the snacks I have. Please let me grow up faster.
Should I report this to my superiors?
Archons, please. These are all the snacks I have. Please let me grow up faster.
Should I report this to my superiors?
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade. It is the last link I have to the land of my birth.
Should I report this to my
Archons,
superiors?
please. These are all the snacks I have. Please let me grow up faster.
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
Report this to my superiors?
Why?
Archons, please. These are all the snacks I have. Please let me grow up